High school is already hard enough, but could you imagine if all the drama that comes with it, ex-girlfriends, teachers, homework, and such, got transported out of nowhere to a whole other planet? It's James Tynion's The Woods. What is up, and you are watching Comic Relief, where it's not a joke, we're just serious about comic books. Here on Nerdy Blurb TV, this is the show where we review and recommend graphic novels and comic books for your convenience, but for our pleasure. Today is The Woods by James Tynion. This is probably one of my all-time favorite comic books because it has everything a comic book reader looks for in a great comic. An amazing story, some of the best artwork I have ever seen, and a full series. This is the first trade out of 9 trade paperbacks. That's awesome. Like I said before, could you imagine if you and all the drama that came with high school got transported to a whole other world? That's pretty much the story, but I promise you there's so much more to it. But first, let's check out the synopsis. On October 16, 2013, 437 students, 52 teachers, and 24 additional staff. Dang, son, that's a lot of peeps. From Bay Point Preparatory High School in suburban Milwaukee, of all places, vanished without a trace. Countless light years away, far outside the bounds of the charted universe, 513 people find themselves in the middle of an ancient primordial wilderness. What? Where are they? Why are they there? The answers will prove stranger than anyone could possibly imagine. Dang, son! So, right, we get it. A whole high school gets transported to a whole other planet. What the freak's that all about? And how is that a story? But think of it as a post-apocalyptic world. These people have been put out of their comfort zone, light years away from their comfort zone. So they have to rebuild a community from just the staff in their high school. The thing is that they may not be alone on this planet. And that's what makes this series so great, because there may or may not be a civilization that's already established on this mystery planet. Now, why is this such a great book, and why do I love it so much? Well, there's so many reasons why, and I'm gonna tell you. First, this is probably one of the best graphic novels that I have read if somebody wants to get into reading. Not only just comic books, but an entire series, because like I said, there are 9 trades to this book, so there's a lot of reading that goes with it. Second, all this book really is following these people. So it's the people that's really the story more than the planet, even though the planet has a huge part of that. The character development game in this book is strong, y'all. With that comes a lot of attachment to the characters, which I personally love. So whether or not those people are in peril, you're going to feel that as well because you love those characters so much because the book has taken so much time to actually get to know these people. Third is kind of more of a bias thing for me because I love stories that are post-apocalyptic. Even though this is not an apocalyptic book, it's a book that puts people in a situation to where they have to rebuild an entire community. A lot of drama comes with that. A lot of teachers feel like they're the ones that should be ruling over all the students when a lot of the independent, rebellious kids want to go off and do their own thing. With that comes a lot of tense moments. Number 4 is that this book is very much safe for kids, but it has enough edge for an adult to enjoy it a lot. Like, for example, there's blood. Let's talk about the artwork. The artist is probably one of my favorites, not only because of this series, but they've done a lot of other things before that I've really enjoyed. But the way that they use the colors in this book is probably one of my favorites. Artwork is a pretty big deal for me when it comes to comic books because that's why I read comic books, to see the artwork. But the best thing about this is that it has an amazing story that comes along with that. It is tense, it is mysterious, and you're along for the ride the entire way. But this is just the first book out of 9 others. Trust me, they are all just as good as this one. If I had to rate this comic book out of 5, I don't normally do this all the time because I'm such a hard critic, but this gets a 5 from me for sure. Now that seems absurd, right? No, it's not. It really is that good of a book. And it's not because of hindsight from where the series takes it. It really is, I think, the best when it comes to everything that I just said. 1, the artwork is amazing. 2, the story is so great. 3, the characters are the most important in this story. 4, it is one of my favorite kind of stories to be told. And 5, it is the first out of such a huge series that I loved all throughout. But when I first read this book, I didn't know how far I was gonna go with this series. When I read this book, I bought the entire rest of the series because I was hooked. Now, not all of you are gonna like it like I am, but this is definitely something you should try out because James Tynion does a great job. He has wrote for many other titles before. He knows what he's doing, and it seems like this is something that he has planned out for a long run. You're gonna enjoy it because I know I absolutely loved it. Thanks so much for watching Comic Relief here on Nerdy Blurb TV. We love nerdy things, so if you also love them just as much as we do, consider subscribing because there is a lot of content that we like to create to be able to share our love for the nerdy side of life. We just want to say thank you so much to those who sponsor this show. Dragon's Keep is the best place to pick up your comic books in the Utah County area, if not the whole state of Utah. Those of you who love comic books, go join in with our friends at Dragon's Keep where they have discounted prices on your favorite comic books. You can even order those that you don't see in the store and helped out by friendly staff who really do care and will not intimidate you with those things that you do not know about comic books because they want you to enjoy comic books just as much as they do. Dragon's Keep, where everything is stored for an adventure for you to find. So be sure to comment down below if you have read this series or if you have anything that you would like us to read to then review as well, because I love getting new recommendations. Now, on a serious note, this is the end of the video. But until next time, just keep reading.